Hey folks, welcome back. Do you ever wonder what it would be like to be Italian? Just me? Okay, well, thankfully to answer that question, I have a very special guest. Please welcome my good friend, JAYOHKAY. So Jay, you're Italian, right?
No, I'm not.
Oh, for the love... This happens every time! Mario, everyone's favorite... What does Mario do again? Carpenter? Oh, no, sorry, that's Jesus. Mario's a plumber. I get the two mixed up all the time. Mario is a super guy who can jump really high. He's undoubtedly the most iconic video game character of all time. Mario transcends video games. Everybody knows him. Show your 84-year-old Bulgarian grandmother a picture of Mario and she'll probably recognize him. But it hasn't always been that way. Much like any icon or cultural ambassador, Mario had humble beginnings. He of course made his first appearance as the protagonist of the 1981 arcade game Donkey Kong, but he eventually became the star of the show in the 1985 NES game Super Mario Bros. I'm sure you've heard of it. Super Mario Bros. Was a massive hit. It launched Nintendo into international success and basically single-handedly revived the video game industry. So, a year later, in 1986, Nintendo released a sequel called, well, Super Mario Bros. 2 on the Famicom Disk System. Super Mario Bros. 2 is almost visually identical to the original, the only real notable difference being that inanimate objects were given sentience. Despite that though, it was a huge hit, quickly becoming the best-selling Famicom Disk System game, so obviously Nintendo wanted to release it internationally. But there were two problems with this. First, it was too similar to the original, and two, Nintendo of America thought that Super Mario Bros. 2 was too hard for us bitch-ass Westerners, so Nintendo decided to do something a little wacky. Super Mario Bros. 2. Mario Madness. Apparently. This game's kind of weird. I imagine being kind of confused by it if I got it back in 1988 after playing the first game. Especially since I wasn't born for another 8 years, so... What the hell am I doing in 1988? But you know what, I've always had a special fondness for this game. So what do you say we talk about it? I mean, I've got nothing else going on today, so... Super Mario Bros. 2, not to be confused with Super Mario Bros. 2, was released on the NES in 1988 and later in Japan on the Famicom under the name Super Mario Bros. USA. The reason that it's so different from the first game is because it's actually a reskin of a game called Yume Kojo Doki Doki Panic, a game made by Nintendo in cooperation with Fuji Television to promote the 1987 Yume Kojo Media Technology Expo. But enough about Doki Doki Panic for now. We'll get into that later, don't you worry. One thing I never noticed, because I'm impatient, is that if you sit on the title screen, eventually the game will tell you the story. Mario apparently heard a voice calling him to be freed from a spell in a dream. After waking up, Mario went to a nearby cave and found the events of Super Mario Bros. 2, I guess. I don't know. It's not the most descriptive prologue I've ever read, but it gets the job done. The game starts up and you get to choose between 4 different characters: Mario, Luigi, Toad, and Princess Peach, who inexplicably has brown hair for some reason. Good for her. Nothing wrong with experimenting with different hair colors. Interestingly, this isn't just a pick your favorite character screen. Each character actually has different stats and controls differently. Mario is standard across the board, making him the easiest character to understand, but he also doesn't really have any particular strengths. Luigi is slightly slower and weaker than average, but he has an insanely high jump. You might think Luigi got a raw deal here, but his jump honestly makes up for it. Toad has the lowest jump, but he makes up for it with his speed and power. And finally, Peach has the lowest speed and power, but she has a special float jump that allows her to stay in the air for a few seconds. You can't really go wrong with any character. I mean, if you pick Mario, I'm pretty sure you get put on some government watch list, but hey, it's your life. I personally am a Peach/Luigi man. Thankfully, you're not locked into one character for the whole game. After every level, you can switch out if you want. So here's Super Mario Bros. 2, and it's fucking nothing like the first game. Forget everything you know about Mario enemies, because this game has an entirely different cast. Ain't no Goombas, ain't no Koopas, ain't no Lakitus, Bullet Bills, Piranha Plants, Fuzzy Beetles, get the fuck out of here. This time around we got Shy Guys, Tweeters, Sniffets, Hoopsters, Panzers, Phantos. Mario has officially left the Mushroom Kingdom and found himself in Hoboken, New Jersey, where nothing is what it seems. The most notable difference between this game and the first game is that jumping on top of enemies is not a method to kill them. If you jump on top of a Shy Guy, he just He just keeps moving like nothing happened. The main mechanic in this game revolves around lifting things over your head and throwing them. There are plants all over each level that you can uproot, and you'll get a turnip or a carrot or a pumpkin or something that can be used as projectiles. This is where the power stat comes in. Since Toad has the highest power, he picks up stuff the quickest and he can throw the furthest. You can also do this with enemies. If you jump on top of an enemy, you can press B to lift them over your head, and then they can be used as projectiles. People give this game a lot of shit for this, and yeah, it's a little weird, but I gotta say it's impressively intuitive for an NES game. Like, the whole system with lifting and throwing stuff is really comprehensive. Things fly further if you're running while you throw, and you can get double and triple kills if enemies are close enough to each other. And it's very creative too. What other game can you think of that has such an unorthodox method of combat? And there are even different types of items that do different things. POW blocks take out everything on screen. You can pull up Koopa shells that go along the ground, taking everything in its way. Some items will only go right in front of you if you're standing, but will go further if you throw them while running. Like, I get it, this isn't what you were expecting from a sequel to Super Mario Bros., but come on man, this is pretty cool. But anyway, the game is broken up into 7 worlds, each with 3 levels aside from the last world, which only has 2. Unlike Mario 1, rather than your health being determined by height, these little Chaos Emeralds on the left of the screen represent how many hits you can take. Although when you get down to 1 hit, you do still shrink. Gotta keep the Mario continuity somehow. You start every world with 2 hits, but you can get more. Each level has a potion hidden in the ground, and if you throw it, a door pops up that takes you to the Netherworld. And if you're lucky, or you just somehow know where to put the door, a mushroom will appear and you can pick it up to add another hit point. Also, if you're in the Netherworld and you pull up the weeds, you get coins, which are used at the end of each stage in the little slots minigame where you can get extra lives. Each level is your pretty standard 2D platforming affair with a mini-boss at the end. Although there are a lot of twists and turns and secrets that you can find if you look around a bit. And ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the debut of my girl, Birdo. Yes, believe it or not, this game marked the first appearance of one of my favorite Mario characters, Birdo. And this isn't your average garden variety Birdo either. Back in the day, Birdo used to come in all different colors. Pink Birdo shoots 1 egg at a time at you, red Birdo shoots 3 at a time and occasionally shoots fireballs, and the green and gray Birdos only shoot fireballs at you. When you defeat Birdo, she drops an orb, which allows you to exit through the bird face door that opens its mouth and eats you. But it's a good thing, trust me. You know, I bet you were thinking that I would avoid any and all touchy subjects. But you know what, this isn't just any YouTube channel. This is Idiot Ben. My goal here is to have you coming out knowing everything about Super Mario Bros. 2. Well, not everything. That would be boring as shit. So let's go, fellas. It's time that we address the elephant in the room. Or should I say, the Birdo in the room. So the situation surrounding Birdo's gender identity has always been an understated yet frequently talked about trait of her character, which is honestly not something I think I'd ever say about a Mario game. The reason for this is because despite Birdo's obvious feminine appearance, what with her fluttery eyelashes and big pink bow on her head, which I realize sounds very stereotypical, but hey, it was the 80s, here, don't shoot the messenger. Despite that, the official Super Mario Bros. 2 manual describes Birdo as follows. He thinks he is a girl and he spits eggs from his mouth. He'd rather be called Birdetta. However, in the majority of her subsequent appearances, Birdo has always been described as a girl, and Nintendo always refers to her with feminine pronouns. As a result, a lot of people like to lovingly associate Birdo with being transgender. Birdo, if you're watching this, I love you, girl. Sorry for throwing all those eggs at you. Although, to be fair, you threw them first. So, I hope your wedding goes well. I mean, I don't want to assume, but, you know, given the size of that rock on your finger. Is it Yoshi? You don't have to answer. I don't know if I want to know, to be honest. Anyway, what the hell was I talking about? At the end of each world, there's a big boss that you have to, you guessed it, throw things at. The bosses of Worlds 1 and 3 are Mouser, a bomb-hucking mouse with dope sunglasses. Worlds 2 and 6 have Triclide, a big 3-headed snakey that spits red-hot fire at you. World 4, the ice level, ironically has a fire boss, Fry Guy. Once you defeat him, he bursts into a bunch of little Fry Guys that you have to kill. Clogrip is a big crab that throws rocks at you. And right before the last boss, you actually have to fight one of the bird face doors. And finally, the last boss, not Bowser, not Wario, but Wart. Wart is a big angry green frog with a crown on his head who shoots bubbles at you. In order to defeat him, you have to grab one of these vegetables that shoot out of these little horn things and throw it at him while his mouth is open. Do that 6 times and bada bing, bada boom, bada bam, you have completed Super Mario Bros. 2. You save all the fairy guys and it's revealed that Mario was dreaming the whole time. Wait, I thought Mario woke up from a dream at the beginning of the game. Doesn't that imply that everything that happened in the game actually happened? Or did he wake up from a dream inside of another dream? I'm not making an Inception joke. Just shut the fuck up. So that's Super Mario Bros. 2, and you know what? I really like this game. It has its share of stupid NES-era bullshit, like this level where there's like 20 jars and you just have to guess which one to go down. And I think it's also kind of unfair that you just have to completely guess where the mushrooms are in the netherworld. I mean, yeah, sometimes it sort of indicates to you where you're supposed to put the potion, but not really. But you know what? I think this game is a lot of fun. I think it's too bad that so many people rip into it for being so different from the first game. Throwing stuff as combat is a pretty cool and creative mechanic, and this game has so many cool little things about it. One of my favorite examples is level 4-3, where you have to hop onto one of Birdo's eggs and ride it to the next set of platforms. That's fun. Now I know what you're thinking. Oh, Ben, can I go home yet? No, I'm not finished yet. Like I said earlier in the episode, this game wasn't originally intended to be a Mario game. It was a reskin of a Japan-exclusive game called JAYOHKAY Doki Doki Panic. The existence of this game has always kind of mystified me, and I feel like a lot of people feel the same way. Kind of like Mother 3 not being localized. I mean, I don't care, but other people seem to, so just put it on Switch. People will buy it. But you know what? I've had enough of just wondering about this game. So what do you say we play it right here on my Famicom that I have, and not on my computer through an emulator? JAYOHKAY Doki Doki Panic, often referred to as simply Doki Doki Panic, was released on the Famicom Disk System in 1987. JAYOHKAY translates to Dream Factory, which is the name of the Electronics Expo Nintendo made the game for. Doki Doki is a Japanese onomatopoeia for the sound of a heart beating, and panic means... well, panic, that's English. After the title screen, we get a little bit of a story. These two kids, I guess, are reading a book while their propeller hat wearing pet monkey paces on the floor, when suddenly a big green hand pulls them into the book. So Monkey presumably leaves to go tell these guys, who just materialized there, and they're all shocked. Well, except for this guy. He doesn't seem to care at all. They hop into the book and our adventure starts. So rather than Mario et al., you get the choice of the 4 members of the Arabian family, the mascots of the JAYOHKAY Dream Expo. Instead of Mario, we have Imogen. Instead of Peach, we have Lena. Instead of Luigi, we have Mama. And instead of Toad, we have Papa. Mama, Papa, what is this? A&W? Oh my god. Somebody please make a mod of Super Mario Bros. 2, but replace all the characters with the Burger family from A&W. Shocker, the game is largely exactly the same as Super Mario Bros. 2, although it does have enough differences to make them worth mentioning. For starters, you can't change characters between levels. You have to pick a character at the beginning and stick with them for all 7 worlds. I gotta say that's pretty fucking lame. The way that the game is designed makes it seem like it's built around being able to switch characters between levels. Also, strangely enough, you can't run in this game at all. Like, you know how in a lot of NES games you hold down B to run? That's the case in Super Mario Bros. 2 as well, but in Doki Doki Panic, you can only walk. I'm not gonna lie, it's really disorienting. It feels so weird not holding down B to run in a Mario game. Other than that, the changes are pretty insignificant. Mario 2 is an enhanced version of Doki Doki Panic in a lot of ways. The music has clearly been re-recorded because it sounds a little better in Super Mario Bros. 2. The weirdest thing about the music is that in the main theme, Mario 2 has an entire extra verse to it, whereas in Doki Doki Panic, it just loops back to the beginning. Also, the cave music is slightly faster for some reason. Other than that, the differences are mostly visual changes or slight gameplay tweaks. The Phanto enemies that chase you when you're holding a key are not only less scary looking than they are in Mario 2, but also don't start chasing you until after you've left the screen where you got the key. A lot of things are less animated. These bird guys have less frames of animation. Cherries, grass tufts, vines, etc. are completely stationary in Doki Doki Panic, where they had a little bit of movement in Mario 2. Lots of sprites are different, mostly the stuff that's related to Mario. Instead of potions, they're magic lamps. Mushrooms are instead hearts. Mushroom blocks replace these creepy juggalo mask things. 1-up mushrooms are instead Mega Man style heads of the characters. And the Koopa shells, you know, I didn't expect it to be a Koopa shell, but I really wasn't expecting that. Also, at the end of every level, the doors look like this. Like, I know you get ate by a bird in Super Mario Bros. 2, but like, There's something about it being a humanoid face that just skeeves me out, man. Other than that, I mean, there's not a whole lot more to say about Doki Doki Picnic. Like I said, I've always had a strange fascination with this game, and I've always wanted to play it to see how it compares to Mario Bros. 2. Obviously, there's no reason to play Doki Doki Panic over Mario Bros. 2. The latter is an objectively superior game. I mean, you can run, the music and animation are better, you can switch characters between levels, there are more bosses, and there's no that thing. But it is interesting to play Doki Doki Panic because it kind of answers a lot of questions about Super Mario Bros. 2. The little level screens look like a book because Doki Doki Panic takes place inside of a book. The fact that all the characters have an Ottoman/Arabian look to them explains the flying carpets and stuff. And also, a lot of characters and enemies who would go on to become mainstays in the Mario series made their debut in this game. Like, imagine a world where Shy Guys, Bob-ombs, Ninjas, Pokies, and worst of all, Birdo weren't a part of the Mario universe. I shudder just thinking about it. And there you have it, folks. Super Mario Bros. 2 and Doki Doki Literature Club. A match made somewhere in the Middle East several hundred years ago. And also Japan. It's a fascinating game. Very weird. But I love it, you know? It's probably one of my favorite NES games. Do I feel fulfilled now that I've played Doki Doki Panic? No. I haven't felt fulfilled for years. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna go uproot some turnips and throw them at the ostriches at the local sanctuary. See you later!